This is the speaking test of International English Language Testing System taking place on Monday, the 10th of November at Bilingual Learning Center. Center number BLC 367. The candidate is Tasin Islam and the candidate number is 030927. The examiner is Jahid Mahmoud Ishan and the examiner number is 59631. Good evening.
Good evening.
Could I have your full name, please?
My name is Tasin Islam and you may call me Tasin.
Now, in this first part, I'm going to ask you some questions about yourself. So let's talk about transport. How do you usually go to school?
Usually I don't go to school right now, but when I used to go to school, I usually used to go to school through my personal car, and before that I used to go to school through my school bus.
So what is the most popular means of transportation in your hometown?
In my hometown, from my perspective, I must say that uh, the auto rickshaw is the most commonly used transport in my area and in my city as well. It is very much reachable, and most of the people of all the professions use it, and they use it for their own job purpose or whenever they need to go from one place to another. So it is the most commonly used.
So how far is it from your home to school?
From my home to school, it's not that much far away, but I must say it needs a lot of time to go to my school from my home, but it's not that much far away. So sometimes I go to school. Most of the time I go to my school through my personal car, and sometimes when my personal car is not on my reach, I go there by auto rickshaw or some other transport.
So do you think people will drive more in the future?
Yes, definitely. Driving is a basic skill. Right now, the amount of car is increasing in our city and in the whole country, and a lot of people are getting self-dependent. And when they become self-dependent, driving is very necessary. People will drive by themselves, and yes, definitely.
Now let's move on chatting. Do you like chatting with your friends?
Yes, I do chat a lot of often in my leisure time. I chat with my friends, my family members whenever it's needed. Whenever I want to communicate with anyone, I do send them text messages.
So what do you usually chat about with your friends?
Well, most of the time with my friends, I normally chat about our school life and our day-to-day life, what we do, and about our future plan, about what we are going to do in the future. I usually chat with my friends about all these things.
So which one do you prefer? Face-to-face chatting or online chatting?
Well, definitely, face-to-face chatting is more preferable for me from my perspective than chatting, because whenever we meet face-to-face, the connection becomes more deep than chatting in text messages. And for me, I would prefer face to face because it increases the bond between us and we get to do a lot of things together.
Thank you. Now I'm going to give you a topic and I would like you to cover at 1 to 2 minutes. You have 1 minute to think about what you're going to say. If you want, you can take notes here. This is your paper, pen, and question. Describe an unusual but interesting building you would like to visit. Okay, now you have 1 to 2 minutes for this topic, so don't worry to start here. I'll let you know the time. Could you start here, please?
Well, recently I got to know about a very interesting building which is Taj Mahal. Taj Mahal is basically situated in Agra, which is in India. It is one of the seven wonders of the whole world, and it is also a UNESCO recognized World Heritage. So the architecture of Taj Mahal is extraordinary. Its interior reflects the sunlight, and it has a vast swimming pool in front of it. It is engraved with white marbles, and as I said before, that the architecture is brilliant, as well as it is a tourist hotspot. Many people gather around the Taj Mahal every single year, and they enjoy their time there. And one thing about Taj Mahal is that why I find it interesting. It is because it is not only a tourist hotspot or a building, but it is also a symbol of love, because of the creator of the Taj Mahal, who is Emperor Shah Jahan. He built the Taj Mahal on the memory of his wife who died during a childbirth, and he made it on the memory of his wife, and that's why it bears great importance to me. And I'd like to visit Taj Mahal because I didn't I always saw Taj Mahal in the pictures, in videos, but I never got to see it from my own eyes. And as I like history and architecture, I definitely would like to visit Taj Mahal once, so that I would be able to see the natural beauty and also the architectural beauty of the Taj Mahal.
Thank you. Could I have the paper and pen, please? Well, now I'm going to ask you some questions which are related to this topic. So, what factors do you consider while choosing an apartment?
Well, from my perspective, whenever I get to choose an apartment, I must see that is that apartment on my reach or on my budget, that can I afford that apartment or not. And after that, I tend to see that is that apartment off to my reach, or is it reachable from my hometown or not. And after that, I usually see that is that apartment close to the city, because it is very important for me to travel to the city more often. And if the apartment is close to the city, then it is more handy for me and more flexible for me to go to the city.
So, do you think a city's buildings affect its vibe?
Not really. What we think of a city, a city is is somewhere you can see the buildings. Whenever we think of a city, we can see high rise buildings, so definitely buildings are the components of a city. As we think of a city, we think of buildings and other things. We don't think of houses of villages. So definitely, the high-rise buildings and commercial buildings are a great component of cities. And whenever I think of city, I see commercial buildings.
So, do you think old buildings should be preserved?
Yes, definitely. Old buildings are a symbol of our history and architecture. These buildings bear significant importance, as they are sometimes now a hotspot to a lot of visitors and audiences from around the world. Definitely, I think that they should be preserved, because if they're preserved, then the economy of our country will be increased, and the government will be able to pursue more money on our economy, and the audiences will be more flexible to reach the old buildings, and our history will be stored.
Thank you, Tasin. That is the end of your speaking test.
Thank you.
Bilingual Learning Center, BLC, Bogura.